everything changes.
Hey, happy weekend, Rockstars. Welcome into my channel. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure you hit the like button on this video because this one is going to be hugely talked about over the next couple of months. It's already heating up. And of course, it's the topic of the shipping containers that are sitting out off the coast of the ports. And of course, it is about Christmas shopping. Are you going to be able to get the toys and the items and the gifts that you want? In fact, as soon as I get back from Vegas next week, I'll be gone Monday through Friday. When I get back next weekend, I have to recover. The following week, which is the last week of October into the first week of November, I'm going to try to do as much Christmas shopping as possible, get it out of the way. So why is this important and what am I talking about? So if you don't know, there has been a huge problem and a backlog with getting merchandise, materials, and other things into this country. Our ports were shut down for COVID. They were shut down or they were heavily stacked up if they were open. The cost of getting a shipping container from China to here went from like a couple $1,000s to like $25,000. No kidding, guys. Just the shipping cost of a shipping container used to be $3,000 or $4,000 or $3,500. Now can cost you $23,500, $25,500. I deal with somebody whose entire business revolves around shipping this stuff in, and the containers have just skyrocketed because they can't get help. They don't have the ability. If you want it, on time, it's kind of like, if you go to a restaurant, you see the guy slip the $100 bill in the maitre d's, tuxedo, and he's like, $100, get me in sooner. That's sort of what's happening right now. People are paying exorbitant amounts of money to shipping companies to streamline and push forward their shipments. And that's just the way it is, on top of not having enough help or enough work or enough time or enough everything else. So it's really a dire situation. The shelves in a lot of stores are empty. You guys may have been seeing this or hearing about this on social media, Twitter especially. This is not false. This is happening. A lot of stores are way understocked. They don't have inventory. They don't have toys. They don't have this. And whatever they do have as it sells out is not being replaced. And it's not going to be replaced before Christmas. We are months and months behind, I assure you, 3 to 6 month time frame to even start getting caught back up. This is going to make a huge problem for fourth quarter, for stores, for retailers. For resellers, it could be really good. Now, a lot of people are going to give me a lot of crap over this saying, oh, you're taking advantage of this, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? It sort of is. If you can get a whole bunch of stuff that the stores can't get and you can stock up and you can put them into your store and sell them for, 2, 3, 4 times what you normally would, that's called capitalism. And some people might think it's, I don't know, scumbaggy or terrible or whatever. But look, we live and die off of supply and demand. And if there's no supply and you have it, the demand is there, you can sell it. And that's just the way it works. It works that way with PlayStations, works that way with Hatchimals, it worked that way with Fingerlings and Furbies and Tickle Me Elmos. This has been since the end of time, but this is one of the worst supply and demand situations you're ever gonna see. This isn't one toy for one Christmas. This is tons of stuff that people want, people need. And look, if it's a want, if it's a Tickle Me Elmo or a Nintendo Wii, it's a want, they're willing to pay it, so be it, that's their choice. If it's a need, well, that's why we have price gouging laws, right? We shouldn't be, bumping prices on bread and water up 10 times just because the country can't import it fast enough or whatever. The other thing that this topic always brings up is made in America. Should you buy US made products? I always support buying stuff from this country. I would love for this country to have more of made in America quality stuff. The problem is, over in other countries, they can make this stuff for pennies and they're willing to work for pennies, and it gets flooded into this country. And even though the quality is not as good, in some cases it is, but it's not always as good, people would rather spend $1 on a lower quality item than $10 on a higher quality item, because they say even if the lower quality item goes bad, I can buy 10 more before I'm even caught up to the higher quality. So that's sort of how that works. And our supply chain is just going to get worse. It's not getting any better. And a lot of people would blame a lot of things and a lot of folks that are in power on this, and that's partly true. There's definitely blame to go around. COVID and the shutdowns caused a lot of that. Other countries and their pricing caused a lot of that. Lack of workers causes a lot of that. This government is causing a lot of that. People in power, politics, money. It's all, the blame is to be spread around. Absolutely, certainly, no doubt about it. I want to show you guys a story. I'm going to pop over to my screen, screenshot it, and show you guys. And if you could, down in the comment section below, can you tell us what city you're in and if you're starting to see any kind of shortages on any products when you go out in the stores, or toys, or needs, or wants, or food. If you happen to notice any of this, or you have any really good links you want to share down in the comment section to stories, that'd be cool. Please post it, or just any of your thoughts or concerns or questions. Definitely want to see those down below. So please take advantage of that comment section. It belongs to all of you. With that said, let's go over the story. I'll show it to you, and then hopefully this will explain a little bit more to everyone who doesn't know about this, just exactly what's going on with the supply chain issues. Okay, so I went ahead and just opened up quite a few little news stories for you guys. I wanted everyone to understand this supply chain issue as well as possible. So the first one is USA Today, and it says the grocery store shelves are bare. These products may be hard to find due to supply chain issues. This was yesterday on October 15th from when I'm filming this. As the world reaches the 2-year mark of the COVID-19 pandemic, more items are becoming scarce because of a supply chain shortage across the globe. This is not just the US, mind you, this is everywhere. Supply chain concerns are due to record level congestion at the Port of Los Angeles, Long Beach that has spread to the East Coast, the widespread power outages across China, shortages of truck drivers and service workers, COVID-19 field infections and restrictions. A business professor at Johns Hopkins University told USA Today in an email, Ting Long Day. Shipping prices have skyrocketed and the demand for items has outpaced the suppliers. Before making a grocery list, here's a list of items you might not find. Ben & Jerry's flavors, how convenient. Don't get me started on that. This frozen treat is usually the perfect dessert, but in an email on September 14th, Ben & Jerry's parent company, Unilever, cited labor shortages as the reason for reducing the amount of flavors produced. The company said it will focus on producing its most popular flavors. Fish food lovers, you have nothing to worry about. Carbonated drinks, fertilizer plants, which lead to the production of carbon dioxide, had to reduce their output due to the rising costs, causing shortages in food and other products. Per Hong, senior partner at the consulting firm Kearney, said to CNBC, we almost certainly will be faced with a global shortage of CO2 that's used widely. CO2 is used extensively in the food value chain, from inside packaged goods to keep it fresher longer, for dry ice to keep frozen food cold during delivery, to giving carbonated beverages their bubbles. Chicken. In May, suppliers announced a shortage of chicken, limiting some restaurant menu items and increasing the prices in stores. Saw that at Hooters, where they had signs that they were out of chicken wings. I kid you not. Or that they were very low and were charging an extra 25 cents per wing. Crazy, but true. Keith was with me. We saw that. Is it true that it was actually happening? I don't think they would have done it otherwise. Okay, so... what happened there? Hold on. Okay. I guess I clicked something. Okay, let me get down here. Okay, coffee. Brazil is the supplier of most of the world's coffee, but the country has been experiencing a drought that slowed the production and transportation of coffee beans. Diapers. Now, I heard this one weeks ago, and I didn't understand it, but here you go. Households with small children should be aware that diaper prices have increased due to raw material prices raising, shipping delays, and container shortages, according to Business Insider diaper manufacturer Procter & Gamble. They make Pampers and Loves. And Kimberly-Clark from Huggies announced price increases in early April. So I do know they have been up in price. Fish sticks, which pretty weird. A custom dispute between the U.S. and Canada has kept the Alaska pollock used for fish sticks and sandwiches stored across the border. Of course, we had all the border stuff with Canada anyways, cross-border restrictions. Frozen meals. Concerns over the Delta variant have some customers buying more than usual, as we saw at the beginning of the pandemic, just in case there's another lockdown. Heinz ketchup packets. With restrictions on indoor dining, most people switched to pickup, takeout, and delivery orders, limiting the supply of individual ketchup packets. USA Today in early April that it's working to increase supplies. Marie Callender pot pies, McCormick gourmet spices, and it goes on and on and on. Toilet paper, Sour Patch Kids, all the whole thing. So let's go over to the second one. Fox News. Now, this is from Vox Recode, but they're saying that Fox News is attacking Joe Biden. No, the supply chain mess is not a war on Christmas. Despite what conservatives say, Joe Biden is not trying to ruin the holiday shopping season. From Rebecca Hellwell, this was on today, October 16th. President Biden announced this week that the Port of Los Angeles would operate 24 hours, 7 days a week in a bid to address product shortages in the United States. The news arrived in tandem with the Labor Department's release of data showing that an ongoing supply chain crisis is driving up consumer prices and inflation. We know that. Conservatives are spinning these developments into a tale about how the supply chain catastrophe is ruining Christmas and it's all Biden's fault. It is going to ruin Christmas in the way that we're used to. You know, people have to have gifts. Look, you don't have to have all this stuff, guys. But if that is how you base your holiday Christmas, then yes, it's going to ruin it because stuff is just going to be not available. It's just the way it is. And if you can get it, it's going to be astronomically priced. Despite what some people are saying on right-wing news outlets and social media, recent problems with the global supply chain can't be blamed on Biden alone. Is it his fault? And this is what I just told you guys at the beginning of this video. Is it the politicians, the guys in power, the girls in power who are to blame? Partly. There are many other things to blame for this, but yes, they make up one piece of that pie. Again, the COVID-19, the restrictions, the border controls from Canada, the imports from China. There's a whole lot of things to blame here. In reality, the shortages and delays are a product of many cross-cutting platform problems that have existed for years, including the COVID-19, rising consumer demand, global and highly optimized manufacturing network that doesn't adapt to change quickly. There's just a lot of reasons. So I figured I'd pop that up there. But he is definitely one of the reasons. There's no doubt about that. All right, supply chain woes hit school cafeterias, leaving administrators scrambling to make meals. Another one, from utensils to syrup packets. They can't get it, right? Look at how they separated kids at lunch in Kansas on the first day, on March 31st. Is that crazy? Kids are eating that way? I didn't even know that. Okay, turkey for tacos, chicken products, orange juice meal trays are some of the items that Shania Hall, Director of School Nutrition Services for Oklahoma City Public Schools, said she can't find. Latest victim of the supply chain slowdown. This was, again, October 16th, today. A few weeks ago, Hall's distributor couldn't get sporks, spoons, or forks. She had to run to her local Sam's Club to buy 60,000 of each to get us through for a few days in hopes the truck would show up. 60,000, she had to buy a lot. That's crazy. Okay, and then finally, what's causing the massive supply chain disruption? Matthew Vann from ABC News on the 15th, yesterday, he did a whole talk about it. You can read or watch that video, from household goods to electronics to automobiles. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Yeah, we know that as well. Cargo ships docked at the Port of Baltimore. Analysts say that the lingering effects of COVID-19 mitigation strategies, the result of the imbalance between supply and demand, a record 4.3 million Americans quitting their jobs in August, the most since the Department of Labor started tracking this data in 2000. That's August. That's like almost a whole year of a new administration, and 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs. Why did they quit their jobs? Well, I will let you guys comment about that, but I can tell you there's two reasons. One is obvious, and one is about money. So, yeah, I'll let you guys take care of that. I'm not going to do the politics here. You have a bunch of sectors that just pay minimum wage, and labor is just going to veer over to where it finds the most profit. The Labor Department in July reported that the warehouse industry had a record 490,000 job openings. There are jobs, guys. But clearly these places don't want qualified employees enough. They're either A, not paying them enough money, which nothing to do with the minimum wage, just in general not paying a lot of money, and B, putting in restrictions and requirements in order to show up to work. It's just not conducive, guys. It doesn't work. It does not work. Growing inflation. Many large retail employers are increasing their wages to keep up with rising prices, intensifying the competition among companies to make their most compelling job offers amid the pre-holiday rush to hire workers. American Trucking Association in 2019 estimated it would be short some 60,000 drivers. We experienced that. The trip from Pittsburgh, the trip in a rental truck, all that stuff, right? So you guys can read all these stories. I'll link one or two of them for you below. You can Google this. It is just going to get worse before it gets better. And unfortunately, I don't have any better news for you guys. So that's it. That is the story of the global supply chain shortage. It's just really bad, guys. So stock up on everything that you need. Don't panic buy, but make sure that if you think you're going to want it or need it, that you can get it and that you have it. And if not, just be prepared to pay a lot more than you're used to paying, including gas, including everything. Barrels of oil are through the roof, you name it. It's all expensive. Okay. With that, have a wonderful rest of your day. Like the video. It helps the algorithm, and I appreciate that. And subscribe. That way you get notified every time one of the new videos comes out. You can turn those notices with that bell right on, and you will be the first to see and hear everything that I post. See you later, guys.